Hi everyone, so for a while now I've been meaning to do a tutorial on how to sew the appliques to the little blocks without, hopefully, having the yarn coming through the back. As you can see, there's a little bit here, but the rest of it is quite clean looking. Now this is my 6-legged octopus. But when I posted them up on my Facebook page, there were comments that you'd like to see one with 8 legs. So I created this one. Now he's already all pinned down and ready to go. So pretty much this leg here is an added extra that's in behind. And this leg here is an added extra that's in behind. Now these two, you'll see in the pattern, suggest to leave the tails for sewing, and also along with your main octopus applique. So to start with, I've pinned them all down in the shape I wanted. Now this might take a bit of manoeuvring of your actual octopus, and even when you're sewing, you can find that you can pull him round more so how you want him. Personally, I'm not actually a big fan of this one. I feel like it's too busy with the 8 tentacles, and I quite like this little guy who only has 6 tentacles, and we'll just imagine that the rest of, his tentacles are in behind him, which was the original plan. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to start stitching him down, and I'll show you how to finish off and weave in your ends, and hopefully you won't see anything on the reverse side. Okay, so to start with, you want to thread your yarn onto your yarn needle. You can really start anywhere, so you could start with those tentacles, but I've chosen to start on the main applique and go around. I'll probably go around the head and then around the tentacles, picking up these ones as we go around. You can see that I've left quite a long length of yarn. You will kind of want to estimate to make it all the way around your applique. If you find that you haven't got enough, it is so easy to add some in. It's pretty much just pick up the same colour and go in and leave a tail, and you'll just weave that tail in at the end. So it's not an issue if you don't have enough. And yeah, so let's get started. Oh, and by the way, I apologise in advance for any banging you may hear in the background. My fur babies are very active at the moment. We have 2 dogs outside who are playing, and I have a cat in my kitchen who is playing around a bit too. So sorry about that. Right. So let's get started. You may need to turn your block and applique around as you go, and I will zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. Right, hopefully that is alright. Right, so when you start, you've got your little tail bit, you want to go in to the next stitch, which you can sort of see there, and you pick up just the top of the back. So you do not go all the way through. It is just that little bit there of that stitch, and I really hope you can, I'll see if I can zoom in some more so you can get a good look at that. It's just that top bit. Right, so once you've done that, you want to pull the yarn through. Now this one here has quite a bit of area to go around, so it's quite a long tail that we're working with. And then you just want to come back up through the next stitch. Once you get the hang of this, it's actually quite easy, because you just go in through the next stitch, pick up that little bit at the back, and then up through the next stitch. I will, however, suggest that you do not skip stitches and think you'll take, a bigger one. Don't go from that next stitch all the way along to that stitch, because you'll find that when your blanket is being used, that bit there will pop up and you will see that thread or that yarn coming at the back of your blanket, and it just really looks a little bit messy. So we'll pull that back. Wherever he's gone. Oh, we just lost a little leg there. Right, and we're going to go back in. Oh, we haven't come yet when we go back in through there. Pick up a little bit at the back and come up through the next stitch. So in through the top of that stitch, pick up just a little bit at the back and up through the next stitch. And I really hope my fingers aren't getting in the way of this for you. So in through there, pick up just that little bit and back up through the next stitch. It actually, once you get the hang of it, this bit goes quite fast. Now I'll quickly show you the back, and you can see that none of those stitches have come through to the back side, and it keeps it looking really clean. And I mean, I know when you've got your blanket on your bed you don't necessarily look at the back, but if you're going to sell these blankets, it's always nice to have a cleaner look. So in through, pick up the stitch at the back and back up through the next one. Sometimes you'll find that you won't even need to pin your applique down. It'll just be easy enough just to sit it flat and sew around and maneuver it as you go. But with this one, with all his little legs, I decided that it would be a better idea to pin him down, because he is quite full on. Right, I'm going to continue around and I'm going to stop at the end and show you how to finish off. So I underestimated how long I needed my tail for my octopus, so which is a good thing for you guys because it means I get to show you how to attach another piece of yarn to continue stitching around your applique. So just thread your yarn onto your yarn needle, and you can see, there's no knot or anything at the end there. Now we just want to come in where you finished off on your octopus, which mine was in here. You can see that's not stitched down. And I'll zoom in again for you so you can have a closer look at what I'm doing. Oops, Right, now that we've got that sorted, now you just want to come in where you finished off and come back up through there, and you don't want to pull your tail all the way through. You can see right there, you want to leave enough that you'll be able to thread that end onto your yarn needle when you've finished stitching around and weave that in. So we just want to leave that to the side for now. And we just want to continue stitching around the remaining 2 legs. Another tip I have for you is to make sure that you count all the pins you use in your sewing, as you don't want to accidentally leave one in your blanket. They actually hide quite well in the wool, so just be wary of that. Right, I'm going to go back to the end again, and then I will show you how to weave in your tails. Okay, so now I'm back to where I started and my octopus is all stitched down. You can see I have my end from the yarn that we had to join in and my end that I've just finished stitching with. Now, I don't actually find that I need to get too, can't even think of the word, particular about weaving in my ends like a lot of people would, you know, do little short sort of, you know, pull throughs. But I find that you can get quite in there and go through under your stitches. So it's sort of sandwiched between the applique and the actual blanket block. And I just pull through like this in different directions. That way when the blanket is being used, you're less likely to have your end come out if you go in different directions. I find, well, my son has had his blanket on his bed for well over a year now, and we had no instances where I've had to fix any tails that have come out or any stitching that has had to come undone. So to me that's quite an accomplishment. Right, I just pull those through like that, nice and tucked in the back there. If you find that you have, some of my appliques actually, you know, have quite a big surface area in there, and you might find that you need to just, when you're weaving in your ends, just pick up a little stitch. You can just feel with your needle at the back there, just to secure those middle bits. I don't feel like this one needs that, so I'm not going to do that. Right, so I finish off with that one. Just snip that yarn, and I'll just give them a little pull so that it gets hidden away in there. And then you pretty much just do the same with your little beginning tail over here. And I'll probably just go in through the leg and back through a few times. When I've done this, I will show you the back and how that looks. And that is the front all sewn down, and we'll turn it over and I'll show you the back. Now I can actually see that I have caught one stitch that is just up in here, which is actually pretty good considering how far I had to actually go around that applique. So there you have it. That is how you stitch down your appliques without having the yarn and your stitches showing through the back. And the dogs managed to stay quiet throughout all of it, I think. I'll go back and watch it and find that out. Anyway, I hope this helps you when you're making the blankets now and you're not so concerned about the sewing part of it, because it's actually possibly the easiest part of the whole thing.